10% of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Karl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Karl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Karl way.
On the court, I know a good pick when I see one. And at Fairway, every pick is fresh. Straight from the cart to your kitchen. Fairway, your home court advantage.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic postgame show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson, alongside Chelsea Poppens today in the Northwest Bank studio. Cincinnati hands Iowa State their second loss, 71-63. It was a tough game, not great basketball. I know you've got a lot to say, Chelsea, but we're going to thank our sponsors before we get started. Shout out to our friends over at Karl Auto Group. They're the presenting sponsor all season long. They're a huge fan of Cyclone Fanatic and the Iowa State Cyclones. They're with us through the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. So shout out Karl Auto Group, and then our friends over at Fairway Meat and Grocery. Make sure you check them out for all of your grocery needs. They are awesome supporters of Cyclone Fanatic and the Iowa State Cyclones as well. All right, Chelsea, that was a really, really tough game. I know last game we chatted about how we both assumed, Iowa State was going to come out guns a-blazing after their tough loss against Baylor, and that is just not what we saw today. I know Addie Brown was out, but this is a Cincinnati team that hasn't won in the Big 12 before this game. They were 5-10.
Yeah. I mean, to be completely frank, it was embarrassing. It wasn't good basketball. I don't have a lot of super positive things to say about it. I mean, if we looking at the stats, it's not great. We did not come in with a chip on our shoulder. We're not pissed off enough coming into this game to play the game that we needed to play. It's kind of like also leaning into the conversation we talked about of needing other players to step up and score. Addie Brown being out is tough. She's usually one of our primary scorers. I mean, I'm worried about Ariana Jackson, the knee-to-knee contact and her being out, because she's the glue on the defensive end. She does all the things that people don't necessarily see, or unless they're looking for it. It just was not very good. We got 36% from field goal, 19% from the 3-point, 55 from the free throw, and rebounds were 44-30. They out-rebounded us, just like the last game. And that's all about effort. That's all about wanting it more. And like you said, Cincinnati did not have a good record coming in. If I was them, I would be ecstatic that they played this well. I mean, and they had 20 fouls on us, and we did not translate those points into those fouls into actual free throw easy points. And so It was just not a good game all around. Yeah.
I think they were 11 for 20 last time that I saw. And I mean, if you're the best free throw team in the Big 12, free throw shooting team in the Big 12, when you get to the line, like you said, they're free points. No one's guarding you. You've got to make those. You've got to capitalize on that. It also seems that Iowa State is just starting off really slow. And before the game ended at halftime, I was like, before Iowa State lost, I was like, it's fine. It's fine. You can come out slow to a team against Cincinnati. Obviously, now I know you can't. But going forward, they cannot continue to play this kind of basketball, and we don't want to see this continue. So what does Iowa State need to do right off the rip, the first couple of minutes of every game?
I mean, exactly what you said. They need to come out with energy. They can't lean on that second half performance to carry you through to the end and win a game, especially in the Big 12 when you're playing against great players. I think the most impressive thing about the Bearcats was they guarded Audie Crooks really well. Thomas and Mary Carden, as far as body to body and displacing Crooks from her spot, they played good defense. And if they're capable of doing that, any other Big 12 team is too. And so I think if anything, Iowa State needs a look in the mirror and just like rethink the way that we're playing, because it can't be the way we have been playing. It can't be an Audie Cook show. It can't be just Jada Williams and Audie looking to score. Everyone else has to know their part. And if AJ is out, other players are going to need to step up, which, I mean, it gives them the opportunity to take advantage of minutes that they didn't have, and be able to who is it? We have Reagan Wilson. We have time for Reese to get into. I wasn't super impressed with Alyssa Williams and her minutes. I thought that she could be doing a lot more when Audie's out. But I think everyone just needs to step up and take advantage of opportunity and time on the court that they're going to be getting now that Coach Finley is going to be figuring out what works.
The team obviously knew that Addie Brown wasn't going to be able to play this game. I'm assuming that you might have been able to experience when you played like a star player or a great team leader, having to sit out a game. How is the team supposed to prepare? What is the thought process going into a game when you know that one of your greatest leaders will be on the bench?
Kind of like just like what I said. If there's a star player out, that just leaves minutes open for other players to step up and show that they're capable of adding value to the team and being a big performer out there. It should excite players on the bench that they're going to get more minutes and they're going to get more time out there. It should excite them. Yes, it is your teammate, but at the end of the day, you're competing against each other a little bit for minutes and playing time. So I just think yes, it sucks to have if AJ is out or if Addie Brown is out again, but that opens the doors for those other players to step up into those spaces.
As a fan, this game gives a little bit of a fear factor. The first 14 games, Iowa State was able to dominate, and teams didn't really know how to guard Audie or what to do and how to beat Iowa State. And now these are two back-to-back games that give a lot of kind of inside look of what it takes to beat Iowa State. What does that mean kind of going forward for these other Big 12 teams?
I think they're going to look at the last game of how they were able to defend Crooks down low and leave Jada out open. So until Jada Williams starts hitting and being more consistent and making that defender come out and guard her, and then Audie Crooks can have the Audie Crooks game that she always has. But I think they're going to take this game too, and just take note of all the areas where we lacked rebounding. They're going to go in and be like, we're going to out-rebound Iowa State because they don't have the effort to do it. They're going to take a look at these games. We're going to get into their mind, because if we get into their mind, maybe they're not going to play the game that they usually play, like the 3-point game, the free throw game. And I mean, we just have to be able to be consistent mentally and physically in these games.
From your perspective, did Iowa State overestimate Cincinnati? Did they just come off a little slow? Were they still down from the Baylor loss? What do you think it was? Because it didn't look like the Iowa State team that everyone knows.
I mean, I don't know what's going through their mind. I'm not in that locker room. But I just don't think they came in with enough grit, and I don't think they were pissed off enough coming into this game. You and I even talked about it. Will Cincinnati perform? They've lost so many games coming into this, so it's easy to go into a game and be coming off a loss to be oh well, we got this. But I don't know. I also didn't necessarily agree with Crooks's statement on being you don't want to be a monster in January. You want to be a monster in March. You have to be a monster every single game in the Big 12, because that's where your standings are going to come from. And you can't take a night off. Nobody can take a night off. I agree with her statement that you're going to take a loss. You're going to learn from it. You need to have those moments to be able to be a better player and better teammate and have that chemistry and learn from those mistakes. But you can't take a night off in the Big 12.
I was going to say that's a great point, because we've talked about this almost every game, especially after the Kansas game. You're going to see opponents play their best basketball, because a lot of the teams in the Big 12 don't have much to lose when they're going up against Iowa State. And we kind of saw that tonight. But in your opinion, do you think Cincinnati played to the caliber that they should have played to beat Iowa State? It just didn't seem like I was too impressed with Cincinnati.
I think it was probably better than their average performance. Which was enough for tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, the rebounds in comparison, that was all effort. That was great. And also like Maya Perry took as a senior,
Right.
took her team on her back, brought the energy and made plays that mattered when in the game when it came down to it. And so yeah, and just having a senior leader like that with 40 minutes, 26 points, and she was 4 for 6, 10 for 14 from the field goal, like that's huge. And we need someone on Iowa State to take the team on their shoulders, like a leader out there, and just be like, hey, we need to get our heads out our asses and show up every single game. Like someone needs to take charge.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, because I asked you, what does Iowa State need to do after a loss like Baylor? And that one seems easier to kind of swallow when you're a fan or when you're a player, because Baylor's a great team. They only lost by I think it was 2 points. Oh my gosh, it's already out of my head. But like, how do you're a former athlete for basketball. How do you sit down and sit with this kind of loss? The one that's really tough to a team that you really, really, really shouldn't have lost to.
It should hurt. Like
It hurts me.
I'm a full fan of this should hurt. You should dwell on it a little bit. Don't take it into the next game, but you should feel bad about this. You should like learn from your mistakes and replay it, because I'm like, I remember games like this that we shouldn't have lost. Like I'd be like replaying it on the bus ride home, on the flight, through the night, and dreaming about all my mess ups.
Oh my God.
And I think it should, like, for them to dwell on it, that shows that they care about it. And if they just float it from their mind, that means they don't care about this games like this. So I hope they take this to heart and they come to the next game pissed off and motivated.
I agree. I've seen some comments and some things on Twitter of people of this game making them think of last year's team. And we've talked about last year's team, and it was tough. It seemed like they couldn't string together a lot of wins. And they still made the tournament. It was a great Iowa State team. They had a hard schedule, but I was kind of getting it where they got themselves in a rut and they couldn't get themselves out. Were you seeing some comparisons tonight?
To the getting yourself
Last year's team. Yeah. Well, to last year's team and this year's team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially from other players not stepping up. Like, it's nice to see Sydney Harris getting more minutes, but those minutes need to be translating into points. Like, especially in games where Addie Brown's not there, making up for other points. So, like, Jada has 13, Audie has 23, and maybe Kenzie here has 8. Those are the top 3 scorers. And we need a 4th scorer.
Yeah.
We need other players to defend well on defense. We need people going. There's too many threes getting shot by the opposing team, and we're not getting under or over screens in the right scenarios. So, yeah, it is kind of spinning the same wheels. But, I mean, people are like, oh, this team sucks. Like, we were undefeated until
Right.
last game this past game. And it wasn't a blowout. It was 2 seconds left and we were right there. And this game is just like, yeah, it sucked, but we're going to learn from it. The team does not suck. We have potential. We have talent. It's just, we just got to figure it out. And I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but any team, any season, you're constantly just trying to figure it out because it is a long season. There are injuries. You have to be adaptable.
I love that. And they're going to figure it out because they take on West Virginia on Sunday, January 11th. You guys can tune back in. And Cyclone fans, make sure you tune into the men's game. Chris and Jake will be doing a post game right after the Iowa State men's game. They're taking on Baylor. So thanks for tuning in, and shout out to Aiden for producing. Go Cyclones.